Okay, all right, very good. Welcome everyone. It is 12 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. For some of you, it's 11. For some of you, it's 10. For some of you, it's 1 or 2. But we are at the Maximizing Your Experience at the ATALM Conference webinar. My name is Ryan Flahive. I am the chair of the Native Emerging Professionals Network. Who's hosting this webinar for you? I imagine there's many of you that I've seen in these rooms before, and I welcome you all to this webinar. We have a pretty packed schedule for the next 90 minutes, so we're going to try our best to keep you on schedule. We are aware of your time and your time commitments, and we are very glad you're here. So we're happy to have you here as part of our webinar series. This one is meant to help you understand what to expect at the conference, which is little less than a month away. Our goal is to share the tools and knowledge that you need to have a successful and enriching conference experience in Palm Springs. Um, the concept of this introductory webinar came from discussions among the network over the past 6 months to a year. And while many of the network members are new to ATALM, we thought it would be great if we kind of ran through the conference and its details and nuances for everybody and to offer it to everybody. We thought it would be a wonderful idea to have this information available. So I hope it's helpful to you. So before I get started with today's agenda, I'd like to thank all the different people who have helped make this happen. The Native Emerging Professionals Network, there's, I don't know, 35 of us on the volunteer council. And there's another probably 20 or 30 of you who have been coming to meetings regularly, helping us to figure out what our strategic plan is and how we work things out. So I'd really like to thank Erin Fehr for helping co-chair the mentor committee, which is a big chunk. We have a bunch of other folks, George and Diana and Selena. There's just so many people to thank, but I'd really like to go out of my way to thank Kelley Hummingbird for all of her work getting these meetings going, along with the ATALM Brain Trust of Melissa Brodt and Susan Feller. Thank you all very much for making this happen. It's a really great um, development for ATALM to be able to embrace our emerging professionals like this. Um, Kelley, would you mind dropping a link for people to learn more about the network? If you have not signed up for the network, please do so. You can find the link there. There's also a link to our portal, our web portal, which acts kind of as a social hub for networking and resources. So please sign up and let's get involved and let's help bring the next generation up in a good way. So before we dive into this, I'd like to take a moment to recognize some of our guests that will be joining us at the conference. Gerald Clark has been chosen as the Distinguished Artist for the Year, and will be using his art as a powerful tool for activism. His continuum basket, which you see on this slide on the top left, is this year's conference artwork. And Gerald has really been a community art project organizer during his career, and he's doing something during the conference where he will memorialize words that have a specific meaning to you. So very excited to have Gerald on board with us. Secondly, we have legendary movie producer Chris Eyre. If you haven't seen Smoke Signals, go watch it tonight. And he's going to be teaching a course on producing documentaries and being honored at the Palm Springs Art Museum. Along with Gerald Clark, Chris is going to be partnering on a lunchtime presentation on Thursday that will honor the performance and installation artist James Luna, which will be quite a great thing. And lastly, but certainly not least, we have the sous chef Sean Sherman, who was the recipient of the ATALM 2024 Trailblazer Award. He'll be on hand to be recognized for his incredible work in revitalizing Indigenous foodways. His presence is a true testament to the brilliance and innovation that flows through this. And if those of you who are in Minneapolis, I think in 2018, he cooked our meal at the museum, right? He cooked, yeah, that trip down to the museum, and it was delicious. It was quite good. So We also have some book signings happening during the conference. Billy Mills, Olympic gold medalist, will have his book on hand and we'll be signing. Walter Echohawk, activist, lawyer, attorney, and really part of ATALM's board of directors is going to be signing his book. And legendary weaver Lily Hope will also be signing her book. So bring a pen, bring some extra cash, buy their books, get them signed, add it to your library. Let's support our native authors. All right, so with that, I would like to not bore you, but to excite you with a brief history of ATALM. And so we organized about 15 years ago, right? In 2008, I think was the first one in Oklahoma City. 2010 was incorporated. It started as an IMLS project. The Institute of Museum and Library Services offered most of the initial money that would really help carry on the goal of advancing Indigenous cultural institutions and supporting professionals in their essential work. Over the years, ATALM has become an essential cornerstone for knowledge sharing, community building, professional development, and really to bring together thousands of participants from around Native America that share best practices, successes, challenges, and collectively try to build a stronger future for our cultural heritage institutions moving forward. So we'd like to really thank IMLS for all of their help for the funding since 2007. And with IMLS, it would not be possible without the Margaret A. Cargill Foundation and Philanthropies, as well as the San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, which has been very, very generous in supporting ATALM and other institutions over the years. So we really hope that this session will provide you with insights and tools that will make the most of your time at ATALM 2024 in Palm Springs. Feel free to post questions in the chat or bring them up at the end of the meeting. We want you to leave this session feeling ready to engage, to learn, and to grow. So with that, I will pass this off to Melissa Brodt, and she will cover some of the conference details. Melissa.
Thank you so much, Ryan, and hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. We are looking forward to welcoming you to Palm Springs. In the next few slides, we're going to go through the conference space and point out areas that will be helpful to you. This is the map of the conference space. This map will be available in the back of the printed program book you receive when checking in. It is also available within the Whova conference app. The conference takes place in two locations, the Renaissance Hotel and the Palm Springs Convention Center. The two areas are connected to one another, so it makes it easy to navigate. When you arrive at the conference, the first area you will visit is the registration desk. And there's a little red dot there, located in the Convention Center lobby. In addition to the registration area is the help desk, where you can inquire about event tickets and buy books from conference authors and more. Also located in this area is the conference art activity that Ryan talked about with Gerald Clark, and the Esplanade, where we will have tables set up for you to meet up with friends or just take a short break from conference activities. Next, we have the Oasis Ballroom 1 and 2. This is where all of the breakfast, lunches, and the opening and closing ceremony will take place. Next door to this ballroom is Oasis 3, and that is our exhibit hall, and we'll talk a little more about that later. On this convention side, there are 8 meeting rooms. These rooms are Mesquite B, C, D, E, and GH. In addition, we have the Smoke Tree meeting rooms A, B through F. So this area is just the convention center side, and then we're now going to go on to the Renaissance Hotel side. On the map, you can see we pointed out the area where the color changes slightly. This shows where we moved to the Renaissance side. It is an enclosed area, so you don't have to go outside to move between the conference spaces. It's very easy to navigate. There are 11 meeting rooms in the Renaissance side. We have Sierra, Ventura, Pasadena, Madeira, Catalina, Mojave Learning Center, Pueblo, Chino, Andreas, San Jacinto, and Santa Rosa. If you signed up for any of the pre-conference lunch on Tuesday the 12th or the art rush that evening, this takes place in the California Ballroom, which is actually the Pasadena, Madeira, and Catalina meeting rooms put together. So all of the pre-conference workshops are actually taking place on the Renaissance Hotel side on Tuesday the 12th. One other area I want to make sure I point out is the Native Art Market. This year we have over 25 artists participating, so be sure to stop by and support these talented artists. Another area that is very important is our bus loading zone. If you signed up for a pre-conference tour or evening event, make sure that you note that all the buses depart from the front of the Renaissance Hotel, not the convention center side. So we have this on the property map. We made sure we made it nice and large so everyone sees it. Before we move on, does anyone have questions about the conference space? And feel free to raise your hand or just unmute yourself to ask questions or drop in the chat. Thank you. And if you think of something later, we're doing questions towards the end, so we can always circle back and answer any questions you have. Okay, next slide. Let's see. Yep, next slide, Jess. Awesome, thank you. So if you're driving to the conference site, there's plenty of parking available. Towards the bottom of the map, there are parking spots located near the east lawn. This location allows you to easily walk through the doors located near Oasis 3, the exhibit hall. There's also another parking lot that is available near the top of the map it's like the main parking lot is what they call it, near the front of the convention center. Parking is $10 a day and can be paid on site by scanning a QR code that is posted in the parking lot. You can also pay in advance by visiting the Palm Springs Convention Center parking page. We've posted this information on our ATALM website on the conference page under hotel travel information. We also want to make sure that the conference is accessible to everyone. So we've created an accessibility accommodations request form. If you require any accommodations, please complete this form and let us know how we can best assist you at the conference. The form is available here. We also have it linked on our website. All right, next slide. All right, so now we're going to talk about the exhibit hall and all the really exciting activities that we have planned in there this year. Coming up, this is the map of the exhibit hall. This year we have 64 exhibitors. So to learn more about our participating exhibitors, all of their information is on page 93 of the program book. This includes like their descriptions, how you can visit their websites, contact them. There's ample opportunity to visit with the exhibitors starting in the mornings of the conference. The exhibit hall is open an hour before breakfast on Wednesday and Thursday to allow you time to interact with the exhibitors. Complimentary coffee is available in the morning, so stop by and grab a cup and then browse with the, talk with the exhibitors and browse the booths. In addition to exhibitors, we have multiple programming opportunities taking place in the exhibit hall, starting with the posters taking place on Wednesday from 11 a.m. to noon. We also have roundtables during the 200 and 700 session block. And new this year, we have speed sessions, which are fast-paced format that allows for knowledge sharing, networking opportunities, and meaningful exchanges. During these sessions, attendees self-select a table rotating to a new presentation every 15 minutes. There are 6 speed session opportunities to choose from, so be sure to check those out this year. Also, be sure to join us during conference breaks on Wednesday and Thursday. During the designated break times, we'll have beverages for you to enjoy while visiting with the exhibitors. Make sure to visit the exhibit booths who are contributing raffle prizes. Each conference attendee receives 10 raffle tickets. These tickets are given to you when you pick up your name badge at the registration desk. Just write your information on the back of the ticket and stop by participating booths to drop your ticket in. Prizes are given away during the closing ceremony on Thursday, and you must be present to win. To learn more about the raffle prizes, visit page 93 of the program book. Finally, another activity that we have during the conference breaks are our book signings with the conference authors. Ryan talked about those earlier. Be sure to purchase your books in advance, and so you don't miss out on having a signed book. Before we move on, are there any questions about activities taking place in the exhibit hall? I see one question in the chat that I'm happy to answer. If you signed up in advance for breakfast or lunch, we have breakfast and lunch on both Wednesday and Thursday. You selected that at the time that you registered, Tiffany. So feel free to email us if you have a question, if you did sign up or not. All right, if there are no further questions, I will now turn this over to Jess Cordes, ATALM's Director of Grants and Special Projects, who is going to tell you what to expect at registration.
Thank you so much, Melissa, Ryan, everybody. Thank you for being here. So now that Melissa has covered some of the conference space, and hopefully you've got your bearings about you, or you know where to find a map, we're going to get you checked in at registration desk. The registration desk is going to be in the Convention Center lobby. And starting on Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, California time, y'all, you'll be able to come in and get your registration packet, and we'll be there until 5 o'clock that afternoon. This is usually the day that we recommend if you are signed up for pre-conference field trips, especially those early ones. You might want to pick up your registration packet on Monday afternoon, so that way you can get your coffee and go straight to the bus with your tickets. So we are going to be open throughout the conference. We are going to close the registration down during the meals on Wednesday and Thursday, so our volunteers can have a break and enjoy the delicious food and the programming that we have for them. So please plan accordingly. All right, so now that you know the hours and where to get the registration packet, I'm going to cover some of the things that you get when you get to ATALM. So you'll give us your name, and you'll get your name badge, which must be worn during all conference activities on the Renaissance Hotel floor and in the Convention Center. You'll also get your event tickets inside your name tag. So that's all your tickets for your pre-conference field trips, workshops, evening events. Also included in the name badge is going to be your meal passes that Melissa just talked about. So with registration, there's complimentary meals. If you did not select that when you were doing your registration form, you can email us or submit a registration changes form and add those to your registration. Tickets for the events and the meals must be presented upon entering each program or activity. So definitely when you get to the registration desk and you get your name badge, check your tickets and make sure that you keep them where you can get to them easily, because you will have to present them to get in. If there are any problems or questions about your tickets, you can come visit us at the ATALM help desk to get it sorted out. You'll also want to ask our volunteers about a set of 10 raffle tickets when you pick up your name badge, and that way you can enter into win those prizes that Melissa was talking about. And then additional raffle tickets can be earned by posting on social media and tagging a hashtag ATALM 2024, and then reporting that to one of us at the registration or the help desks. You also get a very cool tote bag with a unique design. They're collector's editions, I've heard. You'll also get your printed copy of the program book and really cool swag items that are offered by our exhibitors, sponsors, and funders. So talked a little bit about the help desk services. Again, if there's any problems with your registration or your tickets, you want to get out of that registration line and come see me over at the help desk, and I will get you sorted out. If you find any lost or found items, you can bring them over to the help desk and we'll keep them there. If there are any tickets that come available for some of our sold out events, I will have them at the help desk. And again, if there's any issues or questions at any time, you can get us at the help desk, or off hours, you can call this number and reach one of the ATALM staff. Okay, so I think that takes care of registration. So now that we got you checked in, you are ready to start using the cool Whova app. So our ATALM conferences uses the Whova app, so you can organize your conference schedules, you can network with other attendees, receive announcements if there's any changes in the schedule, upload your photos, and just really connect with everybody that's going to be there. So the first step you want to do is you want to download the Whova app. If you've never used it before, you can get it on the Apple Store or on Google Play. You can use those QR codes, or you will be receiving an email link that you can use. So that's your first step, is make sure that you have the app. Then once you have the app, you can sign in, and it's really important that you use the email address that you used on your registration form. So if there are any changes that you need to make, you can email us directly at conference@atalm.org. So once you get signed in, you're going to create really easy to remember but very secure password and set up your profile. We have entered in some of your information from your registration form, but you really want to make sure that that's right, because this is a very public profile. So you want to make sure that it's professional and that it looks really nice. So once you get your profile set up, it's going to take you automatically to the event home dashboard. And if it doesn't, you will be able to search for ATALM 2024 and use the code that will be in your email. All right, so now that you've got signed in, let's see. You are going to use the agenda tab at the bottom of the screen to view the conference schedule. You move through the different days by selecting a date at the calendar at the top. And then you can browse and search for sessions based on a professional development certificate or a secondary topic, which Kelley Hummingbird will talk about later. Or use the search bar at the top to look up specific key terms or interests. Once you find a really cool session presented by Ryan Flahive, you can click on it to learn more. And so you'll get the session overview. You can also add this to your agenda, and it will allow you to set up a calendar reminder. So if you want 10 minutes before the things to make sure that you get from the Renaissance to the convention center, any reminder that you want, or you can choose to have no reminder. You can also use the Q&A and the chat functions to talk to the presenters or anybody else that might be attending this session. All right, next, you can use Whova to network with the other attendees. So to look for who all is coming to the conference, you want to click on Attendees tab at the bottom of your screen. This will pull up the whole list. You can browse attendees by all, or you can use this really cool recommended feature, which will pull up everybody who has like the same interests as you, people who are in the same city, state, organization, or college that you went to, and find people pretty easily that way. And then you can also just use the say hi button, or you can have the ability to directly message somebody, and that's a private thing. All right. You can also use the ATALM community discussion boards. So that'll be under the community tab. And so you can join existing topics or create a new conversation topics. You can also stay up to date with any topics that you want to by clicking follow. You can also navigate between the all topics, the followed, and the new topics at the top of the page. All right, last but not least is these additional resources. So you can upload your photos with the Photos tab. The Wi-Fi passwords for the Renaissance and Convention Center will be there. Documents, since we do have this really cool app and it has all this sharing and messaging function, I will want to bring up that there is an ATALM code of conduct. So please be professional, be kind, be nice, and the harassment will not be tolerated. You can also use the floor map. This is the interactive floor map. So if you want to search up like an exact room, it will take you and lead you to it. You can scroll through that. You can also find more step-by-step Whova apps, guides, tips, and FAQs under the Whova guide. Okay, that takes care of my spiel. And so now that we've got you checked in, you are ready to go to sessions. And I am going to kick it over to Kelley Hummingbird, who is going to tell you about how to maximize your conference experience.
Thank you, Jess. Hey, everybody. My name is Kelley Hummingbird. I'm a citizen of Cherokee Nation. I'm the programs administrator here at ATALM and joining you from the traditional homelands of the Miami people here in Ohio. And I'm going to help you through your session prep participation. So we're going to cover how to navigate the program book to help you choose sessions, the professional development certificate program, volunteering opportunities, tips for participating in sessions, and general conference courtesy. We want to make sure that everybody has a great time while they are at ATALM. Next, please. All right, so if you haven't seen the program book, I suggest that you go over to the website, click on the drop down under conference and select final program. You'll be able to see a PDF of it, but you will also receive a physical copy. Once you get into the program book, you're going to see that sessions are divided into primary focus areas. Primary focus areas are archives, historic preservation, language, libraries, and museums. And then these focuses are further broken down into secondary topics that coincide with the professional development certificate codes, which I will get into in just a minute. All right, so this is an example of what you're going to see when you look at a session in the program book. And I wanted to highlight a couple of key pieces of information. The red arrow is the room location. That's where you need to go whenever you want to attend a session. The green arrow is the session number, which corresponds to the date and time block in which the sessions take place. So you're going to be able to see that in the schedule at a glance page on the program book. That will be important information for the professional development certificate as well. The title is pointed out by the blue arrow, the time and date is pointed out by the orange arrow, and then the purple boxes show the primary and secondary focus. So in this example, the primary focus is archives, and then the little icons A, B, and M, those are the secondary focuses, and those correspond with the professional development certificate. So this is a session that will count towards archives development management, building organizational capacity, and model projects. You'll also see the session description, the presenters, and I wanted to point out in the program book that there will be information about meals, special events, pre-conferences, flash talks, the poster sessions, speed sessions. So be sure that you look through the program book, and that will help you get planned and get ready for the conference. And all of this information can be found in Whova as well. All right, so every year we are able to offer a professional development certificate program thanks to IMLS funding. So conference attendees can earn these certificates. What you see here is an example of last year's certificate. Basically how it works is that you enroll by filling out the form, you attend the sessions that correspond to the certificate you're working toward, and then you complete some online training after the conference. After you complete everything, you can request your certificate. The requirements are listed on our website. Again, go to our website, the conference drop down, and then select professional development. That has the form in which you can enroll. And I have the secondary topics and the topics for the certificates listed out there again. If you would like to participate in this program, you need to complete all of your requirements by March 28th, 2025, and we'll provide more information for those who do enroll. And be sure to reach out with any questions about that. We want to point out how important our volunteers are and how much they contribute to smooth conference operations. Volunteers help with everything: conference prep, registration desk, photography, social media, room monitors, ticket monitors. And of course, we want to ensure that you're getting the fullest conference experience possible. So the more volunteers we have, the more we can spread out the shifts and ensure that you're able to volunteer some time and then participate in the other conference activities. If you want to volunteer, we welcome you. Please fill out the form. There's the QR code. And then again, on the website under the conference website or webpage. And we especially thank our wonderful volunteers. We couldn't do all of this work without them. And I know that this is a lot of information, and for first-time attendees, this can feel a little bit overwhelming, but most people describe ATALM as a reunion, and it's a friendly and welcoming space, but it can also feel overwhelming if you aren't sure what to expect. So we wanted to share some tips with you. Planning ahead is going to help you make the most of your time. So now that you know what's in the program book and how to look at the session descriptions, that should hopefully help you with planning. Take some notes if that helps. You can bring a laptop or a good old notebook and pen if you're a note taker. Make sure that you set goals. Some of the examples of conference attendance goals might include learning more about a particular topic, or improving your own presentation skills, or making meaningful connections with other attendees. Whatever makes you feel like your purpose for being at ATALM is being fulfilled. I encourage you to be comfortable. I know for me, if my clothes and shoes are uncomfortable, I can't concentrate on anything. So wear clothes and shoes that you feel comfortable wearing. The average temps in November in Palm Springs are around 80 during the day and 52 at night. Of course, there's air conditioning in the rooms. So maybe try some layers and make sure that you're ready for warm weather and cool weather. We encourage you to take breaks whenever you need to. This is a lot of information. It's okay to step away for a breather. Please wear your name badge at all times during the conference activities. As mentioned, when you check in, your name badge will have your meal and event tickets, so you will need those. And finally, network. Take the advantage of being at a conference to network. We have designated areas for networking in the Esplanade area. You're welcome to message through Whova. I don't care what anyone says. Business cards are still useful. You can exchange them. Connect on social media, especially LinkedIn. I'm a huge LinkedIn nerd, so I love sharing about conferences and tagging colleagues whenever I do. So use any of those tools to connect with the people that you meet. And because we're sharing a space, I just want to remind everyone to please be courteous and make room for others. These rooms fill up quickly. Make sure you don't leave things on chairs so that other people can sit down. Please pick up after yourself and don't remove things from the rooms that aren't yours. We do have beverages during the break in the exhibit hall, but if you need to bring water and snacks, do so. Masks are not required at the conference, but if you're more comfortable wearing one, you are more than welcome to. You can bring your own hand sanitizer. We ask that you please silence the phones so that they aren't a distraction during the sessions. And then one more important thing is that in the dining areas, please don't linger after meal times. The staff has to turn the room over for the next meal, and 1,600 people is a lot to clean up after. So please be courteous and leave the dining hall after the meals. I hope these tips are helpful. I already kind of started speaking a little bit about networking, and now we're going to continue that conversation with our networking panelists who are joining us today. I would like to welcome George Gottschalk. He is the head of acquisitions and resource management at Kansas State University in Manhattan, Kansas. Jonna Paden is the archivist and interim librarian at the Indian Pueblo Cultural Center in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And Erin Fehr is the assistant director and archivist at the Sequoia National Research Center at the University of Arkansas at Little Rock. So George, Jonna, and Erin, in that order, please tell us a little bit more about yourself, how many ATALM conferences you have attended, and what makes ATALM so special for you.
Thanks, Jay. I'm George, and So I'm excited to be here today. I've been attuned to ATALM for a long time, but believe it or not, this is only my second ATALM conference. I've been to several other conferences though, and so the good news is you can tell by the level of preparation just for this session how organized and welcoming this conference is compared to any other that I've ever been to.
All right, thank you, George. And hello, everybody. I'm also the current president-elect of the American Indian Library Association. As part of the San Jose State University Circle of Learning cohort, my first ATALM was in 2012 in Tulsa, where I did my first poster presentation. So the upcoming ATALM will be my sixth. As a student, ATALM was always important, an important learning experience for me, from session presentations to talking with people and even breathing the same air as superstars in the LIS field, and sometimes meeting them. 10 years later, it's still about the learning and meeting people and helping newcomers at the conference and introducing them to people and reconnecting with friends from around the world.
Hi, everybody. My name is Erin Fehr, and I will be attending my 11th ATALM this year. And as you can tell, this is my favorite conference that I attend. I tell everyone everywhere about it because I think Kelley even referenced this. It feels like a reunion. And it really does. Everyone feels like family when you go to ATALM and you meet up with people that you've seen year after year. And actually 2 years ago, it was a legitimate family reunion where I met my cousin for the very first time in person. So ATALM really is a special place and everyone is welcoming, and I'm really excited we're doing this because it just shows everyone what a great organization ATALM really is.
Thank you for sharing those introductions. I love hearing about your experiences. Erin, as the Emerging Professional Mentorship Co-Chair, you are elbows deep in our mentorship program. Could you tell us more about that, please?
Sure. So as part of the Native Emerging Professionals Network, I joined the council and they asked for a volunteer for a chair of the mentorship program. And I said yes, not knowing what I was getting myself into. But I love it. So I thought I'd tell you a little bit about our program this year, and hopefully it sounds so wonderful that everyone who didn't sign up this year will sign up next year. So this year we have 49 mentors and 85 mentees, which almost doubles our numbers from last year, which is fantastic. This year we're able to offer a more individual mentorship relationship experience because I don't think all of our mentors have only 1 or 2 mentees this year. We were really able to spread those out. And so hopefully we will be able to create some meaningful relationships that will last. We've really expanded the social aspects of our mentorship program at the conference, and I believe George is going to discuss some of those opportunities here in a couple of minutes. But we hope that you really take advantage of those opportunities. One of the key changes to our mentorship program this year is that we are wanting to emphasize that this is not just for the conference. This is meant to last after the conference is over, after you go home. And we hope that the program will create lasting mentorship relationships and networks too, because as Kelley mentioned earlier, networking really is a key part of the ATALM experience. I know that, like I said, I've been around since 2012. I went to the same first conference as Jonna in Tulsa, and I can really lean on those people that I have met over the past 12 years. One of the things that I personally deal with is feeling isolated. Like you go to ATALM and you just have this wonderful time. You're surrounded by 1,600 people that have the same ideas and goals that you have. And then you go home and you might be the only Native archivist in your region or even in your state. And so having those mentorship programs and relationships in place really allows more encouragement. We want you to lean on those relationships when you have questions, or if you feel alone, or you just need a listening ear. And so we hope that you will meet at least one person, if not many people, who can become that network, even in a informal mentorship way. The mentorship committee is working hard at this time to create ways to further those mentor-mentee relationships. During the conference, we will be asking participants for ideas for activities and social prompts that we can be used throughout the year, because like I said, we don't want this to be a one-time thing. We want this to be ongoing. And like I said, we hope that if you didn't sign up this year, that you will watch for announcements for next year, because we truly believe that everyone can benefit from a mentorship relationship, no matter which side of that you're on. And we hope to see mentees from this year's program returning and becoming mentors next year. So we're really excited about what is ahead. And I know that we've got lots going on and we have high hopes. So thank you. And I believe George is next.
Yes, thank you. So I was going to say that in my opinion, you've done the hardest. If you've registered for the conference, you've done the hardest part of networking, because as everybody's indicated at ATALM, it's harder not to network because everybody's so happy to be there and so excited to welcome everybody. So you'll be in good stead. We do have some opportunities built in to make sure that that happens, though. So when you're going to meal events, be sure and look for the tables that are marked for emerging professionals. I think that was shown on the map that we saw earlier in the program booklet or in the app. So you can find those tables and we'll be there to welcome you. I think I got everything, but let me know if I missed anything. I know Tuesday night, if you're registered for the Art Rush, there's a meetup happy hour that's centered around the Emerging Professionals Network, so you'll enjoy that. There's going to be a really fun evening if you've registered for the film event. That will be a lot of excitement, so I hope everybody will have a great time there. I did want to point out there's a poster session for the Native Emerging Professionals Network on Wednesday in the Oasis 3 room we saw. And then later that day at 4, there's also the speed sessions where we hope to see a lot of the Emerging Professionals Network show up. And that, if I got this right, it looks like that's on page 49 and 50 of the program book, where you can find the list of the speed sessions. But so welcome everybody, and just all you have to do is introduce yourself and you'll make 3 friends every time you do. So, hey, John, I think you're up next.
Okay, I am to talk about tips for following up after the conference and maintaining a relationship. So I say, don't wait too long after the conference to reach out to your mentee or mentor. Your email could be a thank you for sharing a meal together, for introducing you to someone, or sharing about their own experience, work experience, or school experience. Your email should state how often you'd like to stay in touch and how, and whether through email or an occasional Zoom meeting. Be understanding if you don't hear back from someone promptly. Of course, we're all busy. But if you don't hear back after a little bit of time, send a second reminder email. In this one, ask a question or ask for suggestions about something perhaps you're facing, or just some kind of situation you read or some sort of current event. That's a good prompt for people to respond. Then send an email, thank you email, and ask when and how they might be available to continue communication. An important part of maintaining this kind of mentor-mentee relationship is to do periodic check-ins, just to ask, even just to ask how someone is doing. You can also share your achievements and challenges, share your successes and milestones with each other. Mentors love to celebrate good things that happen, but also share your struggles and difficulties and ask for support and guidance. Ask about their achievements and challenges they've faced. This is what helps build trust. If you happen to be in the same city, have lunch or coffee together. And if not, mention a conference you might be going to that they also might be attending and plan to meet up. Always remember, mentorship is a two-way street. Mentees, don't forget to share, don't be afraid to share trends, tools, and technologies. Older mentors and those that don't have big budgets in their institutions or that are in a different LIS field can benefit from learning about new tools and tech. There's also, if you like to ask your mentor if they know someone who might, if your mentor doesn't have information or experience with a certain topic, you can ask if they know somebody who might, and if they might be willing to introduce you. Connect on social media, as Kelley said, Facebook, LinkedIn, etc. So in conclusion, open and regular communication is the best way to continue contact.
You have all provided such great, helpful advice and information, and I just have one more question for each of you. What is your favorite or most useful conference networking tip? Let's start with Jonna, and then we'll go to Erin and George.
One thing I like to do, I am not, I mean, because I'm sure a lot of us are not social butterflies, you know, but what I like to do is I like to go up to a table where I've never sat, or a table where people are standing, and just introduce myself. You know, you'll end up going around the table and introducing yourselves. And ATALM, as big as ATALM is, you will always find a connection somehow or some way, somebody who worked in the same area or knows the same person you did or whatever. So I think that's my favorite thing to do.
Am I next? I forgot.
Sure, go ahead, Erin.
Okay. So mine is kind of along the same lines as Jonna. And I wanted to say, take an opportunity to make a new conference friend. I am usually quiet and introverted, but I can fake it. And I'm sure a lot of you are in that same boat with me. And so at a conference, I always like to either get to know someone on the bus when we're going to our conference field trip, or our evening programming. Just, you know, like Jonna said, introduce yourself, and you'll be surprised at what happens, because I did that with Megan Dory, actually, and a long time ago. And we sat beside each other on a bus for a field trip. And last year at ATALM, we presented a presentation together. So you never know what can come out of just making a new conference friend. And you may not see that person again till the next year. But it's just it's nice to be able to have someone to share an experience with. Or like when you're at the museum in the evening, to walk through with someone and just kind of have a conversation about what's going on. So that's my tip. Make a new friend.
Thank you. So my tip is actually, Jonna and Erin both touched on this. So if you're someone who doesn't necessarily like small talk, or isn't sure how to go about that, or you're worried that the person that you're talking to, I think the easiest thing you can do at ATALM is ask someone, how are you serving your community in your institution? Because that is what everybody at ATALM is passionate about that, and everybody will have something to say. So when in doubt, just ask how they're serving their community, and you'll hear all kinds of innovative ideas, all about their community. You'll learn some things, but that will always get people at ATALM to talk. So
great advice from everybody. I know I'm super excited to see my conference besties whenever we get back there in a couple of weeks. George, Jonna, and Erin, you're all rock stars. Big thank you to each of you for sharing your wisdom and your advice with us. That's it for our panel, and now it's time for Q&A. So what questions have we not answered yet? Please drop them in the chat or use the hand raise feature.
I just want to say a few things. Susan had popped in the chat about how we have tables numbered in the Oasis 1 and 2 ballroom for our meal functions. And so I attached a little chart or whatever, PDF of the map. So you can see we have reserved tables for our mentors and mentees and EPN. And then you can see all the tables that we have. So that may be, helpful in meeting up with people throughout the conference. And one other thing is, Jess gave us all this great information about the Whova app. And you can actually use that app up to 3 months after the conference. So if you still want to reach out to people through the app following the conference, it's available for up to 3 months.
We have a question in the chat. I can't find the short film screening to share with folks. Do folks need to sign up for this? And how much is this? If you're referring to the Indigenous Visions, that is a sold out event. So the sign up for that is closed by now, sorry.
I'll just pop in and say, if any tickets become available during the conference, they will be at the ATALM help desk in the convention center lobby.
Thursday. Dang, there's a lot of
There's also a question that if we signed up to earn a certificate, but none of the pre-conference events are available in our focus area, can we still earn the certificate? The answer is yes. We will send you, whenever you sign up, we will send you a list of the online training. Just feel free to do some of the extra online training to make up for that time. And if you have any questions, reach out. admin@atalm.org is my email address. You can reach out anytime.
And then Tara had a question about shuttles. I'm dropping in a link to the information on our webpage about the hotels, because each hotel is different. There's a few hotels that do provide shuttles to the convention center. It's a part of a service that the hotel provides. And so you might look and see if your hotel is eligible. If not, I would definitely suggest Uber or Lyft. Or car rental. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us about it. Any other questions? I am popping in the email if you have questions. This is our general account. Oh, well, Kelley, you put yours in. But if you have a general conference question, you can also send it to conference, and you might get any one of us answering it. All right. Any other questions now?
Are we allowed to
Pop
do
up in
more than
the,
one certificate? There's another question in the chat about the certificates, if we are allowed to do more than one. Jess, do you want to answer that?
If I can,
I'll answer it. No,
Oh.
you can only do one because you have to attend the consecutive sessions. And since you can't be in 2 sessions at the same time, you can only do them every year. So if there is one that you want to take, wait and do it then, but you can only do one.
And then someone had a question about the app. So you won't be able to find the conference app yet. It is not live yet. It should be live in the next day or two. And as soon as we have it available, we'll be sending out an email, as well as it does like a push out to everybody's email that we preloaded in there. So I think you'll get like 2 notifications that it's available. So Sierra, are you asking about transportation between your hotel and the convention center? Okay, so I would look at Uber or Lyft. I don't know much about if Palm Springs has a bus system or anything. So we could look into that, and maybe I'll post some more information on our ATALM website about getting around. Okay, thank you, Matthew. Yeah, and I'll look into that. I'll post some information about bus, and we can with the city of Palm Springs and see if there's maybe a stop near the Palm Springs Convention Center. Yes, George, there's actually, when we publish the Whova app, there is like a rideshare board that you can post on. So if people are staying at hotels, you know, they might say, you know, I'm staying at this one, like anybody else want to ride, leave at this time. So that'd be a great way to share the cost of getting to the convention center. And let's see, Talia, we will look into see if the city of Palm Springs offers anything about accessibility shuttles. ATALM does not have a shuttle ourselves, so let us see if there's any services that the city offers. And bike rentals, I know in Oklahoma City, some people did like the scooters and went places around downtown Oklahoma City. So you can also see if Palm Springs has the scooter rentals like in different locations.
I saw a note that a lot of the hotels don't offer shuttle services, but a lot of them do. Like the Marriott does, the Riviera does. So it's all clearly listed on our website if they provide transportation. So just check out the website.
All right, great. Scooter rentals. Thank you, Kara. So we will do a little research on our end too, and we'll add some more local transportation options to our ATALM website for you all to look into.
Are there any other questions for the staff? Doesn't seem like it, but good questions. The bike and scooter rental sounds like a great idea. So we should definitely keep an eye out for that. Be a good way to get downtown after hours too. Let's see. So start to wrap this up. Just a few little things from my experience. I've been going since 2009. You really can't be nervous going up and talk to somebody. Like everybody's there for the same reason. I was very nervous my first time and made some really good friends that I still have from that first conference in Portland. So don't be shy. I would say one of the best ways to prepare is to go through the program, mark and tier the sessions you want to go to, and maybe even reach out to those presenters. And if it's something that is a project that is a model for you, something you want to try on your own, reach out to them. The directories are there for a reason. The Whova app will give you an email address. Reach out to them, get some information beforehand. Really plan your adventure before you get there. And I can tell you, having a session buddy is a great idea. Right? Find yourself a partner and go hit sessions together. It's always better to have somebody to bounce your eyes and your ideas off of as you go through the conference. But we certainly hope that today's information was good for you and makes you more confident and prepared as you move forward in your ATALM adventure. Take some time with the program book. I would really, if you want to make the best of the Whova app, work on your profile. Your profile will actually help matchmake people that are similar to you, have similar concepts, ideas, and you know, certainly the occupation thing fits in too. So you'll find a roster of attendees, speaker bios, all of that stuff. I would say that the best way to prepare for this is you just make sure you have somewhat of an agenda for yourself, and make that always flexible. We're here to have fun. This is a fun group. Susan, just before we got on today, showed us our Native Emerging Professional Network noisemakers. So we have noisemakers. And so we're going to have a lot of fun. Bring your karaoke song for the first night after the happy hour, and let's have some more fun. Kelley, can you please drop the link in the chat one more time for the conference website? Thank you very much. Please sign up for the Emerging Native Professionals Network portal if you haven't gotten in there. We can't wait to see you. Please email admin or conference or even me if you care to, if you have any questions or concerns. With that, I think we will go. Is there anything else? Kelley, Melissa, Susan, Jess, anybody? No. Okay,
No.
wonderful. Enjoy the rest of your
Um,
Tuesday, and
see you in
we will
Palm
see you
Springs.
very soon. Thank you.
Thank you.